Welcome back to the day 3, the finals day, the championship Sunday of the QPL Stage 1 finals. You know, gentlemen, Lethal and Flea, welcome back to the desk. If we were in an alternate Quake timeline, this next matchup could easily be a finals somewhere. It is so crazy to think that one of these players is about to be eliminated and the other one will move on to face Kilson, another boss in the lower bracket. Welcome back. It is now time for cypher versus RAISY. And I am just very excited to see what is going to happen. Are we finally going to get our 5-mapper? I don't know. We've had nothing but 3-1s today. Some very, very close games. But Lethal, I'm going to go to you. Cypher versus RAISY. Your thoughts?
Well, in terms of 5 mappers, we might get our first one today. We had plenty of them, or a couple of them, shall we say, during day 1, during the relegation phase. But surely this is the one. Both of these players are at their peak performance. Now, the problem is with cypher, he's been doing extremely well. He actually beat RAISY last time in the Pro League, but he wants to try and continue that. And I feel like he's in his peak performance now. The way he's raining, I think he hit 70% rail on Ruins earlier on. He seems to be a lot more flow-paced in terms of his movement, his aim, his aggression, making the right choices. His decision-making is just on par, and he's got some great instinct going forward. And as you can see from the scorelines, you have it there. It was 3-0 before, but I'm sure it's going to be much closer series in comparison to last time in the Pro League.
And that is a very interesting result because cypher and RAISY, they have a bit of a history going on. I still remember before the Quake Pro League started, but in the early days of Quake Champions, RAISY was a bit of a wall to cypher. Every single time they met in the finals or at LAN, RAISY just had an answer to what cypher did, and it was really frustrating him. But unfortunately for RAISY, cypher did find the key to that, and as you can tell, 3-0 victory clearly shows that the man from Belarus knows what's up, and this is for that reason a very interesting matchup. Both of these players are very hungry, right? Going to be difficult for RAISY. That matchup against cypher was the only match this series, or this season rather, that he lost without winning a single map. Every single time, even when he lost, he secured at least one map, but cypher just ran circles around him. And so today we get another rematch between these two greats, and I think that they both just have one thing on their minds, and that is revenge against Rafa. Rafa is the player, of course, who condemned them both to the lower bracket where they reside now, and they want to give him a piece of his own medicine.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's not going to be easy because not only is there this matchup, but then the winner has to go on to face Kilson in order to get that vengeance that you are talking about. And there he is, RAISY. You know, in his post-game interview after his win versus Base, I felt like he was very composed. He admitted I made a few mistakes. He was a little worried going about in it. But I do hope that that win gives him the confidence heading into this one. I mean, he's not going to sleep on cypher. He knows what a deadly opponent he is, and I think cypher shows the same level of respect towards RAISY. As we say all the time, it really is going to come down to the picks and the bans and what champions that we see. This one, I think, should be pretty interesting, right? We've seen cypher picking Koth a few times, and, you know, we've had a few people banning out the clutch versus RAISY. So I don't know what we're going to see here, but we might be able to summon the picks and bans and check it out. If it pops up on screen, Lethal, boom, there it is. There it is. Kicking it off with a Deep Embrace match, Molten Falls, Corrupted Keep, Ruins, and Blood Covenant.
First thing I'm going to mention now is that with Corrupted Keep and Ruins, RAISY got slaughtered by cypher last time on those two maps. It used to be RAISY's Keep, not anymore. That's been given to plenty of other players, but cypher's chosen that specifically because he remembers what happens. But RAISY, he's actually given Ruins a second chance. He probably feels like he's improved a lot in comparison. You've got to remember, these two haven't matched against each other for at least a couple months, so I'm sure RAISY's improved a lot more. Cypher's hitting his peak performance, but Deep Embrace to start off with, absolute madness. The Athena, the clutch is banned straight away. Why am I not surprised? Of course, I don't think any of us are, especially in chat. And when they're doing with the mobility, that would be a different story. Slash Anarchy. You couldn't ask for a faster paced map even if you tried. BJ versus Galena. It's going to be a lot of mind games there. A lot of them like to play the range game with the heavy machine gun. Ruins, we've got the Eisen and Visor. I would say it will still be quite fast paced, but the only problem is it's going to be a lot of calculated aggression. Then last but not least, Blood Covenant, Death Knight versus the Ranger, another cracking matchup if it does go to map number 5.
Always fun to see a Death Knight come out. He is probably one of the lowest tier champions currently in the lineup, at least for top level competitive play, so he very rarely makes an appearance unless we are in a best of 5 or best of 7 and players are really scraping the bottom of the barrel to come up with a decent pick, and it will be on Blood Covenant, which definitely isn't the easiest map rather to make a champion like that work on, so I would definitely favor RAISY on the final map if we get to that point, but other than that, I think it's going to be a pretty evenly matched series. I love the Cypher pick of RAISY on Molten Falls. We know that Cypher has one of the best RAISYs, or best slashes in the entire world, so that's going to be a map to behold.
I'm betting my points, gentlemen. I love that we're kicking things off with Deep Embrace, right? I mean, this has been a trend that we've seen, not only throughout the stage 1, but here in the finals. Damn near every Deep Embrace game has been incredibly exciting, high fragging, high scores, and we've seen so many variations in strategy on this map as well. I mean, not saying that we don't in other maps, but when you've got one that small, that fast paced, it is exciting to see. I think this one is no exception. I kind of give Athena the +1 on here, but we'll have to see how it goes. So, gentlemen, the winner continues on. We'll face Kilson, the loser, unfortunately, in the graveyard of the Stage 1 finals. But this is going to be a fun one, and I'm going to be watching from the sidelines. Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you very much, Wheat. Flea, first map Deep Embrace. We're going deep in fast-paced action. We've seen it before. We've seen a lot of kill and Solag. It's been kind of the trend, but now we're going to see the Athena versus the Doom. I want to know your thoughts before we head into first map.
About Deep Embrace in particular, Athena, yeah, it's an interesting pick, right? You've got a stack disadvantage going up against the Doomslayer, but we've seen a lot of excellent utility come out of the hook on this map in particular. Now, I do worry there's only 2 layers to this map, essentially, so she isn't going to be as effective as a huge map like Blood Covenant, which has a lot of verticality, but I think that if anyone can make her work, it's probably Cypher. Now, also just looking at the rest of the lineup, there's one thing that really stands out to me, Lethal: not a single heavy pick. I think this might be the very first series where neither player has gone for one of the heavy champions, because we have seen a lot of heavy action today.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. I'm glad you noticed that, because normally when you see a lot of these champions, it's normally a bit of a mixed range. You can kind of tell a lot of these players have their favourites, like Zanarku, for example. He's, you know, a player who favours the heavy champions quite often, depending on the matchup and depending on the map being played. But yeah, that is quite bizarre and quite rare, considering, you know, you see a lot of kill on the on Deep Embrace. You know, you see a lot of soul lag as well. Like, you know, it depends on the matchup, depends on the mix, really. And I think they just want to go in hard, you know, close combat action to try and force any of the situation out. But for this first map, even with the Doomslayer as well, he has the ability, of course, to at least help him trade frag if he needs to. But it's very, very difficult to recover sometimes, but let's make it look easy.
Yeah, indeed, that is going to be one of the key things going into this matchup. This can be such a quick and fast-paced map that once you lose control and the momentum starts building, right? We saw it in the previous series. Kilson was the one to win this map going up against Rafa, and after a relatively equal series, he just absolutely ran away with the scoreline once he got firm footing. As we are about to load into this map, this is the first map in this series. Chat, make some noise. I want to see some RAISY, Cypher. This is an important one, as we are kicking things off immediately with high aggression over at the Rockets and the Heavy. Cypher completely neglecting the Mega. Both players just locking horns over at the Rockets. And it'll be the man from Na'Vi coming out on top.
Cypher wins that little scuffle at the start, wants to dive straight in with the Rockets. Don't do too much damage, but beautiful LG. RAISY has nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Already 2-0 in favour of Cypher. It's already been 30 seconds, but Nailgun's doing a huge amount of damage. Just caught him off a little bit as he was going around, but he's still chasing him. I don't think he expected that either. He was trying to get away. Commit suicide, doesn't matter. Would have been a frag anyway to RAISY. And Cypher now, what is he going to do next with Derail? Just trying to see where he's going to go. He's realised that he has gone for the Mega, rotating around to the LG, and Cypher's just biding his time top mid.
Cypher was just so surprised by the fact that RAISY kept chasing him with the nail gun that he kept looking back like, okay, he's gonna be gone now. Surely he's going to turn back. Nope, RAISY was on his tail until the very end, and that explains some of those sloppy rockets. which is very strange because cypher is one of the players best known for their rockets in the entire league. As he's positioning himself over towards the Mega, it spawns just a moment too late and allows RAISY to secure both of the major items, set up a bit of a rotation, and he's got a serious stack advantage to work with as well.
He certainly has. Good first rail from RAISY. He's going to look for the second to see if the health bubble finds him. Does a tickle of damage with the LG, but what a rail going up top mid, gets the second frag, gets the lead, and now what he needs to do, just try and get the heavy. Won't have time to grab the Mega, but he might be able to contest it here. Good LG. Managed to pick it up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. cypher's doing all he can to stay alive. Still did a huge amount of damage in comparison to what RAISY did, but it was RAISY with the stack. Good first rail. Will he get the second one before he gets taken down? Going in with the shotgun, only on 14 HP, but as you can see, the 2 health bubbles weren't there for cypher. He's just trying to wait, find his time, and find out what RAISY's up to.
cypher so far hasn't landed a single railgun shot, and that is clearly hampering his play a bit. He's unable to whittle away RAISY's stack before going for these engagements. That allows the Hungarian man to just keep the stack advantage working in his favor. Liking the positioning here from cypher though, but he's unaware of RAISY's reposition. Takes a bad rail for his troubles and now tries to scurry out of the room. RAISY does not want to let him. Good decision not to chase too aggressively though. RAISY could have absolutely pushed that a bit further, but decided to just deny the small armor and then secure the heavy, knowing that cypher needed those center resources, that he would be able to pick up the frag at a later time anyways.
cypher trying to get away with his life at the moment. Good first rail from RAISY. Misses a second, but it doesn't matter. Needs to prioritize the Mega. cypher finally gets a rail of his own. He's backing off, waiting to get the angle. Knows he's there. Both of them trade rails, but both of them do miss. As now realizes that the 2 health bubbles have already been taken. He's going to try and contest that heavy. RAISY going straight up. Misses out on the chance, but needs to try and hit his rails here to make something happen. Taking another one. He is railable. Not anymore after that health fall. RAISY knows that. And cypher looking to see if we can try and push around, try and clean them up. Good rail off the map. See you later, RAISY. And cypher with the second frag.
Deep Embrace strikes again. Sync error notches another one into his belt. He knows that the depths have claimed another victim as cypher is pressuring RAISY quickly. Oh, 1 HP! Both players literally 1 HP. Don't think I've ever seen that before in the Pro League. And both wisely backing away. It is RAISY who restacks quicker than his opponent. He's looking for the pressure. Mega not up for another second or two. cypher will drop once more. Maestro RAISY extending his lead a bit further.
There's a lot of aggression that cypher's just not expecting here. 6-2 in favor of RAISY. That would have been another great rail to add to his tally of frags. RAISY now. Nice LG, but the heavy machine gun's looking good for cypher, but I don't think it'll be enough. He's trying to get away. Will he be able to clean up though? Only on 20 HP, just barely survives that engagement. Gets to 50, gets to shard. Now he's going to portal through and see if he can get another rail. He knows cypher is still top mid. He doesn't want to go for the Mega yet. Likewise for cypher. But what can he do? Good rocket. RAISY can't now challenge the Mega anymore. Needs to leave it to cypher. Just get all the weapons in his arsenal again. As he just, oh my goodness, comes straight through. 62 HP. RAISY just managed to survive that. Fakes to go top mid. And now it's cypher with the stack advantage.
Good use of the Berserk there as well. Just using it to get out of harm's way. That's how you usually see that ability used at this high level of play. Very rarely do people use it for that aggression and the damage. We saw Rafa pull it off a few times earlier. Always beautiful if it works, but it is risky. Now RAISY on the back foot. Not something we've seen happen that much this game. cypher wants to pressure him, but knows that item denial is important. It's quite incredible to see how RAISY has been denying so many of the items so far. Lethal, if you look at the pickups, RAISY has more major items, heavy and megas, but also more of the small armors, and that is something that you should never see in a matchup, because usually the player that's in control is simply unable to deny the small armors, leaving them for his opponent. But RAISY has been so methodical in picking up every single thing that cypher is really struggling to get a footing, but finally he's got a good workable stack. Rockets won't connect for either player. cypher on the high ground.
Yeah, RAISY has been the human Pac-Man over the last 6 minutes, making sure he denies everything to even let Cypher get back in this game. He's been at a height disadvantage for a while now, but he's still trying to do a little bit of damage from underneath. Cypher finds him, the LG's come out, 79 HP, needs to back away, managed to re-heal quite quickly, and he's going to get the Mega for his troubles. Cypher, look at see where he's gone, he's got the LG out! Very, very close, he's waiting for him to go back through, not going to happen, does a little bit of damage on a mid, but he's still on the LG spawn. Good rail there from Cypher. His rails are getting better over time. But now, look at the grapple hook from Cypher, and he cleans him up with the LG nicely there, Flea.
And that's that infamous mobility coming out to play, right? Doomslayer with his double jump has more standard, basic mobility. But Cypher, running the Athena, can get so much speed traversing the map. RAISY was completely unprepared for that burst of aggression. Liking once again the use of the Berserk, even landing the naughty rail at the end there. Oh, Cypher. Oh, how did he find those angles? Lethal. RAISY was just like, nah, he's not gonna hit that a second time. Bop, there you go. Drop down dead. Cypher inching closer towards a tight game.
Nice little 2 for 2. I don't think any of us expected him to re-peak after that one. Cypher, huge stack. This is his time to bring back the momentum. 2 minutes and 20 left on the clock. Still got 3 frags to go to equalise the scoreline. Drops down. This could be his first chance he'll get. Took a lot of damage from that, but it doesn't matter. The light is there top mid. He needs to try and stop him from getting the rockets just a little bit too late there. But how is he going to approach this? Took a huge amount of damage from that rocket. He needs to back away. RAISY realises how weak he is. So he's missing his rails. Just barely got almost caught off guard the top mid. RAISY now with the stack advantage. 3 frag lead. Not looking good for Cypher now, Flay.
Cypher took that engagement solely because he knew that RAISY didn't have many weapons to work with. He figured that, you know what, my opponent only has the rockets. If I stay far enough back, I can land rails on him, get rid of a lot of that stack of the heavy he's about to pick up, and I'll get away clean. But then RAISY landed a beautiful opening rocket and made him suffer again. Rocket into rail. Cypher cannot get away as RAISY extends his lead 4 frags ahead with a minute left to go. This is getting dire for the Na'Vi player. He's gonna push in aggressively. Super Shotgun will clean up his opponent, but does he have enough time?
These next frags from Cypher, if he gets any more, needs to be clean. Can't afford to get traded off. Good rails from RAISY. Cypher's trying to do everything he can. The MG is the weapon that cleans up Cypher. And that could be the winning frag too. Good first rail. He's going to try and yes, he does backhands him on the heavy. And what's he going to do now? He's going to find out that Cypher has gone top mid again, but if it's too little too late, they may have similar stacks. But with a 5 frag lead, it is highly unlikely that Cypher can come back from this Flea.
Indeed, I don't think it is possible anymore. RAISY, he's got the double jump. Even if Cypher starts stringing together some kills right now, he will just be able to dodge and evade his opponent. Doesn't even look like he's going for that route. Will stand his ground, knowing that RAISY is desperate. Flowing once again of the bounce pad. We've seen RAISY float more people than I think any other player in the Quake Pro League, as RAISY convincingly takes away the map win. Now, if we look at the scoreline, it might be a little bit deceiving, right? Because it was much closer than this up until the final minute or two. But then, of course, Cypher realized that time was running out. He had to push in. He had to take every fight he could. And of course, many of those weren't in his favor. So RAISY got a few easy free frags at the end. Still, though, a good effort from the Na'Vi player. Absolutely can't count him out just yet.
Still plenty of time, especially in a best of 5. RAISY, 20 major items picked up, 16 lights. It's unreal. I felt like he couldn't give Cypher any chance to breathe, suffocate him on spawn on numerous occasions. And Cypher, he did well, don't go on, still played very strong. But the only problem was a lot of missed rails here and there, and made some good plays with the grapple hook, as you saw from that replay. But he needs to really try and step up what he wants to do and try and play a little bit faster in comparison. It seemed like he was a little bit on edge on a few of the occasions. He did well contesting a lot of the items, but RAISY was just all over him. It was just ridiculous.
Yep, Cypher just didn't have any opportunity, especially towards the end, but he's gotta scrub that one clean from his memory, focus on the next map, which will be Molten Falls. And Lethal, this should be very fast-paced. We have got Cypher running the Slash, one of his best champions, going up against RAISY on the Anarchy, two of the fastest, most mobile and nimble champions in the lineup, are about to duke it out on one of the largest maps where you have so many beautiful straight alleyways to get a lot of speed going.
Yeah, I think it was this game in particular. Map number 2 is what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm sure a lot of the chat are too. How fast-paced it's going to be. A lot of mind games will be played with as well. So, you know, we could see a slow pace, could be quite fast. It depends on the situation of the spawns. You know, if they go for the item straight away, if they don't, if they leave it, they bait it, they go for their weapons in their arsenal instead. It's, you know, it's a lot to talk about during this matchup. But what do you think? How do you feel it's going to pan out between these two after seeing that first map?
Very difficult to call, right? Basically, just because of how close it was for the first half of the game, I feel like Cypher is looking good, RAISY perhaps even slightly better. I feel like despite the speed, we might again see a bit of a respectful opening, both of the players not wanting to put themselves in the position where they have to chase such a fast champion as the ones that they're up against, but no one can tell, and it does look like RAISY is itching for more of a brawl. You know him, right? Once he gets into the groove of things and he starts beating his opponent down a bit, it sometimes carries over into the next map, and this can be a real strength, but also he has to be careful that he doesn't get overzealous, because that's something that we sometimes see from RAISY, right? He feels so good about himself, and rightfully so, that he just goes for some gauntlet kills, and that works often, but sometimes it doesn't. So he needs to make sure that he picks the right situations for those kinds of plays.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right opponent to do it against Flea. You're absolutely right there. But it could be a different kettle of fish. Second map, and we'll find out what is going to happen between these two. It will be on Molten Falls, starting with Cypher's POV, as they're going to pick up the heavy straight away. If his opponent, so just a little bit to see what RAISY's up to. Still staying there, and so many rails being picked up, but manages to get the Mega, manages to get away. Very lucky, in my opinion. At least he gets the Light, the Mega, but it's only got the LG to work with, as he's waiting patiently to find out what RAISY could be up to.
Slow-paced start indeed, just as predicted. Neither player ready to fully commit to a fight to the death just yet. And if they would right now, then it would most definitely favor Cypher. So RAISY doesn't want to get anywhere near his opponent until he first lands a good rail, or at the very least secure himself a little bit more to work with in terms of stack. Cypher noticing that he has the advantage. Loving the use of the plasma trail right there, because it is both a defensive and an offensive tool in those situations. RAISY taking a bit of a beating right there, that second peak. That's what I'm talking about when I say overzealous. You know that Cypher is still checking the corners. Loving the play from the man from Belarus. Doesn't go straight for Mega. Knows that RAISY is probably still hiding up there somewhere. So he wants to go for even more damage, and I can respect that.
Cypher notices there's a few missed rails from RAISY. Hits one of his own, has the heavy. This could be his opportunity to try and get this first frag, but decides to back away. He knows that RAISY's already got away. He's going to flank round instead. Mega's coming up in the next 7 seconds. He's just sitting there on that rocket spawn. Cypher was only round the corner, realises that he may have gone to the rail to get ready for the heavy instead. Gets it uncontested. Sadly for him, the tri-bolt won't give him the damage or the information needed to see where RAISY could be. But looks like RAISY has backed away again. He's going to leave the heavy for free, but he does have the height advantage here. Hears him, but if Cypher finds him, it could be trouble. RAISY backs away straight away, goes back through the portal. Is he going to go back through? No, he hasn't. It's actually dropped down. The LG comes out. Cypher just a slightly different stack. RAISY dropped down with the shotgun. Cypher needed to hit that rail, didn't get the opportunity. RAISY gets the Mega, but heavy will be coming up in the next 10 seconds.
I feel like him using the plasma trail might have been what ended his life right there, because there is a delay between using it and being able to fire, and RAISY exploited that perfectly. And now Cypher on the back foot. Stacks are more or less equal, but it is RAISY with the high ground who lands a string of LG first before switching to the rail, dropping Cypher dead once again. Cypher does secure the Mega, but he's missing so many weapons still. Lethal doesn't have rockets, doesn't have LG. Those are crucial tools for a map this size.
Cypher doesn't have any armor at the moment. RAISY's continued to eat them all up. Cypher has been riding the struggle bus in this game, but it's still early on. Only a few minutes have passed. Still plenty of time to work with. RAISY, good first rail. Cypher actually dives straight in, realises that he needs to back away. I think he expected him to go back a little bit further, but finds him with the LG. Very good LG from Cypher. RAISY just manages to get away with that. Has the inject in his back pocket. If he needs to use it, he's going to use it just in case because he is railable. Realises that Cypher is trying to go for that heavy. It's not for another couple of seconds. May have to give this up even if he has got the height on him. RAISY's just being very patient, just trying to see where Cypher's going. Realises that it's going towards the Mega from LG. It's directly above him now. Only 1 second left. Who's going to try and get this? RAISY's going to go for it first. Gets away with it and gets a much bigger stack advantage.
That is one of RAISY's biggest strengths. I mentioned this earlier on stream as well. He has mastered so many aspects of Quake that he is capable of playing so passively. But on the other hand, switch it up instantly and go on extreme aggressive pushes. And Cypher now has to try and break the stronghold that his opponent is starting to set on the map. That is a beautiful rocket from Cypher, a direct from a very difficult position too. Unfortunately for him, he isn't able to do much more with it as RAISY picks up the Mega, uses the injection as well, and now is the better positioning for Heavy. Looks like he's trying to deny the armor to Cypher as well. Cypher still peeking. Oh my god, he just dances in place as the rocket flies right at his face, and that allows RAISY to once again get a clean free route over to the Heavy, knowing very well that Cypher is in no position or shape to challenge.
That was a great direct there from RAISY. Finds him on the rail. Good first shot. Is he going to dive in? Yes, he is. He smells bloods. He is on the hunt. Will he be able to make it 3-0? Oh, Cypher took himself down in the end, but that was easily going to happen no matter what you say. RAISY was thinking about going to the LG side, but now he has changed his route. Decides to go there anyway. Here's him, and he's going to try and push for this Mega. He doesn't get it, but will he be able to win the engagement? No, he doesn't. Cypher needs to recover quick so he can try and contest this next Heavy.
RAISY, his aim is ridiculous right now. 47% LG against a light small slash. That is incredible. Add on to that 50% railgun as well. And it should come as no surprise that it is RAISY who is out-damaging his opponent by a pretty significant amount by now. Although Cypher finally has found his way into the game. He's got Heavy, he's got Mega, but misses all of these important shots that RAISY is landing. And now RAISY might actually be able to position himself in between Cypher and the item. Oh, he's got a glimpse of him. Drops down already. This is a solid play from RAISY. Cypher jumping across. He's got to be careful with the rocket jump. He's a little late, a little sloppy, and RAISY. Good barrage of rockets from above. Lethal. This is looking so good for the Maestro player.
Yeah, RAISY's looking really good. It's a shame for Cypher. He was raining down rockets, but none of them did any damage. It's very unlucky during that Heavy congestion. RAISY knows the location. 33 damage on that first rocket. Both of them tried to trade rails. Doesn't happen though. RAISY does have the inject if he needs it to get away and restack. But he's going to go for the portal, but not before Cypher does. He is on the chase. Surely he'll be able to take him. Yes, he will. Not much too much HP left. Gets the Mega. But Cypher though is running out of time. He's only got 2 minutes 40 left. If he gets taken down here, it could be GG for the map. Cypher's been taken down once again. Unlucky he took the wrong path. But RAISY now, he's got a much bigger stack in comparison already. 2 minutes 30 left. It's not looking good here, Flea.
Cypher is just playing a bit too aggressively right now. He's treating this as if we're in the final 30 seconds of the map, just rushing after RAISY. When he definitely still had enough time to work with, but now that final stack of time is dwindling before our very eyes. There is still time, yes. But catching Anarchy on Molten Falls 6 times in 2 minutes?
Good luck.
That's a tall order, even for the legend that is Cypher. Good luck indeed. And RAISY is so content just burning time, holding his ground, and then when Cypher overextends ever so slightly, RAISY is instantly there with the punish, and now we should be able to secure the Mega as well. And I think that if this goes the wrong way, it might be GG already.
In terms of item pickups, it's almost the same. But the rails from RAISY have just been absolutely ridiculous. Good rocket set. It's going to try and bounce up. Fails. But Cypher's so weak, he can take the risk. Yes, he does. Minute 15, that's pretty much all said and done here, Flea. And the sad thing is as well that for Cypher, his 2 best maps throughout the course of Stage 1 have been Deep Embrace and Molten Falls, and he's about to lose them both.
This is indeed starting to look very bad for Cypher. If this continues, RAISY should be moving on into the finals of the lower bracket where he will be facing Kilson. Good rocket to the face as well. RAISY just shutting down all of Cypher's advances, saying, no, not today, my friend. I think RAISY is just really out for revenge after...
It's a nice way of getting the Mega.
Okay. He's just surfing, Lethal. He's just saying, like, you know what, fine, you give me a little bit of a boost. It's like a dance movie. Cypher lifting RAISY over his head as he floats around the arena. Beautiful synergy. Both players well aware that it is over at this point. Both have to reset, get ready for the next map that could very well be the decider of this series.
Definitely an interesting way to pick up the Mega. 11-0 though, you couldn't make that up. Cypher's been playing so well with Molten Falls, like during Stage 1 and even over this weekend. And it just seems like the calculated aggression from RAISY has just been too much. But we've still got 3 more maps to go. He can easily bring back a reverse sweep if he has to, which he does have to, if need be. But the only problem is, like, RAISY's just been looking way too strong.
RAISY has been looking borderline insurmountable right now. Cypher is one of those players who is extremely capable of pulling out unorthodox solutions to seemingly impossible problems, but not this time. RAISY is just a wall. And as we move into Corrupted Keep, a map that at some point in history was dubbed RAISY's Keep, I think that Cypher fans right now are starting to hold their breath. This could very easily spell disaster. It might be our first 3-0 we've seen at this stage in the tournament. We'll be seeing Cypher play the BJ, go up against RAISY running the Galena. 2 pretty standard picks on the map that is Corrupted Keep. I don't know, Lethal, how do you feel about this matchup?
The only thing I can say for Cypher is the fact that the last time these two played, Cypher ruined him on Corrupted Keep, and Ruins too, but actually funny enough, but that was a couple of months ago. You know, this is the finals. I feel like we see a lot better RAISY during these finals, and he's just proven it every single time, again and again. Look at the damage count, just under 600 more, showing a lot more map presence. Even with the rails, 50%, that's still an amazing feat to achieve against a light champion such as Slash, not just the hitbox, but the speed. Been diving across the map, but it's very, very tough, very, very difficult, but not losing hope. You know, Cypher, we've seen him do enough reverse sweeps over the years. He can definitely do it again, but it's, like I said, it's just that calculated aggression from RAISY, and the fact that he's on form in terms of his aim skill is very, very hard.
Absolutely, and Chad, don't forget you still have time to make your prediction. Put some of those channel points up, see who you want to win. Cypher fans, come on, make some noise. Cypher, Cypher, Cypher. This might just be his last hurrah in this tournament, so send your boy some energy if you want him to win. And RAISY fans, if you want the Maestro man to move on and face Kilson, let it be heard. Spam and flood the chat as we are loading up into Corrupted Keep for the 3rd map of this series. If you're just joining us, RAISY is currently up 2-0.
Who would have predicted it, Flea, eh? Who would have predicted it? I don't think any of us would have done. But so far, RAISY dominating performance as we head into map number 3. If this is going to be the final map for Cypher, will he get knocked out of the tournament? Or can he start his reverse sweep? questions will be answered after this next map as we start off with Cypher's POV.
Cypher playing the BJ Blazkowicz, which of course means that he's got the dual wield ability at the ready, allows him to deal tremendous amount of damage on short notice. But RAISY has got the totems. If he can get 3 of those things up at once, he's basically got a mega of his own in his pocket. So if he can stick to the heavy side and just hunker down, he can set up an impenetrable fortress for Cypher to overcome. Both players, again, third map in a row, not immediately going for the aggression. A lot of respect being shown.
Yeah, we said it before, there's going to be a lot of mind games, a lot of slow-paced action as they try and figure out each other, try to adapt. And look at this, so RAISY's directly underneath him. Cypher, not really too sure on the whereabouts of RAISY. Decided to do the switcheroo and see if he can contest the heavy, which is coming up in the next second, which he will be able to grab. But he's just seeing where RAISY's gone, has eyes on him. Saw that he went through the portal to get the LG, but it's delaying the heavy just a little bit until he sees RAISY come up close, finds him. He's on the rocket spawn, does a little bit of damage with the HMG, and whoever wins this next fight, you've got to remember that the items will be so segregated they could get full map control.
Out comes the dual LG. Cypher without hesitation crushes his opponent. No major items up for another 5 seconds though. If RAISY reads this correctly, he's got a good chance, but hang on, dropping down a little carelessly, but Cypher actually ends up dropping that. RAISY somehow turning that back around. I was definitely expecting Cypher to take it with that initial burst of LG damage, but unfortunately for him, the stack remaining after the previous fights just wasn't enough.
I'm surprised he got the overstack so early into this matchup, but one of the totems, 2 of the totems have already been destroyed. RAISY running away with the tail between his legs, waiting for Cypher's next move. Trying to hear out to see if he goes for the telly. We'll hear it now though, switches to the HMG. Great shots, barely missed anything as he was dropping down. And RAISY now is going to get this heavy. It's not looking good for Cypher. He needs to continue playing that range game. He's trying to see if he has picked up the heavy, but he will notice that he's gone all the way around. Good first rocket. But RAISY does have that totem still if he needs to use it, as he's going to go flanking round. Knows that the Megas come up in the next 5 seconds. He needs to try and contest this. The dual wheel comes out for Cypher, but RAISY's waiting directly above him to see if he tries to approach it. Good HMG shots, just tickled him a little bit of damage there. And RAISY's just trying to try and push on in. Again, good damage, but both of them on a slightly similar stack, but not after the rocket from Cypher, as RAISY is going to back away and leave the heavy.
I'm liking the much more reserved playstyle that Cypher is showing right now. We saw exactly what can happen if you don't give RAISY proper respect and treat every single engagement as if he can turn it back around on you. And he will just run away with the scoreline. So Cypher definitely trying to adapt to that. That is a huge rocket though. Cypher, no way he can contest for heavy right now. Looking to maybe make a move on a small armor. Hang on, RAISY actually has 3 totems up. Cypher will take care of one of them, but not before RAISY is able to secure overstack without even picking up the mega. Dual LG won't be strong enough if RAISY pushes in for this. The healing, the passive healing, almost saving Cypher right there. He had a few points of health left to spare. And now both players actually pretty low with Cypher. Mega is up right beside him. He is of course aware of this. Pretty expertly played by Cypher because he was not in a good position right there. RAISY absolutely could have extended full control, but Cypher countered that nicely.
No idea how Cypher managed to get away with that. He's still alive, still in the game. Gonna get a dual dealt with the LG. Great damage there on RAISY. Has the slight advantage. Mega coming up in the next 2 seconds. Flying into the telly. Not going to be enough though. He needs to do a bit more damage. He needs to re-heal as well. Heavy is going to be up. Takes out another totem. Cypher wasn't looking good in terms of being on his toes, just, you know, taking down all these totems, but it seems to be on form now as he's trying to find out RAISY's position, find out where he is, but hasn't really got much of an idea as of yet. But soon enough he will do from that first rocket. He realises that he's flanked round, probably going to drop from that mega soon enough in the next few seconds, Flea.
And both of the major items are up at just about the exact same time. There's 2 seconds in between both, so neither player will be able to get both of those items going in his favor. And actually Cypher leaving Heavy up perhaps a smidge too long. Out of LG ammo, the click devastating. RAISY, not all that healthy himself, but Cypher lost a lot of ground right there. You could see what he wanted to do, right? Delay Heavy slightly, maybe do a bit of extra damage on RAISY and then pick up his own item ready to establish a rotation. But RAISY was so fast through the middle of the map, and then Cypher with the click on empty almost turned south for the man from Na'Vi, and it might just as well be now. Cypher running for dear life, RAISY on the chase. Super Shotgun will clear it up.
Cypher was alive for a while there, Flea. Got away with murder twice. Runs into one of the totems, feeding RAISY information. Will he get cleared up? It's looking very good. RAISY on 9 HP. Manages to survive, get the Mega, and now he can fight again. Especially if the lights up, it's not up as of yet. Wait and see if he pushes, and Cypher just dived right in, which is not something we expected. He got a little bit too aggressive, just overextended, and still RAISY isn't weak enough to be traded.
I feel like we're seeing a bit of a recurring pattern here, Lethal. Cypher starting off playing a very guarded game, close to his chest, careful, cautious with how he approaches each and every fight. And then there comes a point where he just throws that to the wind and pushes in over and over again. And then RAISY runs away with the scoreline, just like it happened on Molten Falls. Cypher doesn't have an LG, nothing to defend himself at that range. Has to break away. Looking to cut off RAISY. Those rockets are sublime, though. Another one to the face. RAISY has to get out, has to give up Heavy. This might just be the opportunity that Cypher needs to get back into this.
Great stuff from Cypher, trying to make a comeback. If he wants to make something happen, keep his tournament life on the line, he needs to do something now. No, RAISY again manages to pick him apart. Cypher had a good advantage. He's going straight for the light. He knows that he needs to push in. He needs to make something happen. He's only got 2 minutes and 45 left on the clock. But with these totems up, it's just helping RAISY, making sure that he can continue to fight the good fight. Cypher has picked up the Heavy. Slight advantage in terms of stack. Needs to make something happen. Not going to happen if RAISY's got the LG there from that range, waiting for him just to be approached. But sadly for his case, he won't be. But Cypher trying to get a little bit of damage there. RAISY knows he's got him trapped on the LG. Picked up the Mega. He's got the duel with the LG. Backs away. But Flea, he's running out of time.
He really is. 5 frags in 2 minutes. Can he even do it? RAISY. Oh. Missed it Heavy by a second right there. And I also want to stress just how important... Oh my god, floated once more. RAISY knows it. He's happy about that one. But what I was about to say is that the totems have been really important for RAISY as he's set to take yet another frag right here. Based on how often multiple totems were up at the same time, you would think that this was a huge map like Molten Falls or someplace like Awoken with plenty of hiding spots, but no, it is Corrupted Keep, one of the smallest maps in the pool, and yet RAISY was able to use the totems to great effect, often dropping them down mid-fight to get that health injection when he needed it, but regularly setting up a few at once, with Cypher not taking them down fast enough to deny the benefits from that extra healing setup around the map.
RAISY literally got the overstack around a minute 30, minute 40. That's so early for a map like Corrupted Keep. RAISY just continued to do damage. Only got a minute 5 left. Not going to happen. You need a miracle at this point. Cypher knows that too. It's going to be extremely difficult. But RAISY has just been playing calculated very well, very strong, good aim, good aggression, everything. And he's got the whole package and all the ingredients. And look at that though, nothing much he could have done. Some overextension here and there from Cypher, which is understandable. He was running out of time. But now when it comes to the time limit, it is definitely out of time. 40 seconds left. He needs 8 frags. And it looks like Cypher will be out of his tournament with a 3-0 series scoreline.
Indeed, the first 3-0 we've seen all day. I think there's going to be a lot of Rafa fans happy to see that Cypher is not going to be making it back into the upper bracket, because I know a lot of people in chat had Cypher pinned as the one person to potentially take down the man from Liquid. And now it's all up to either RAISY or Kilson. They will meet shortly in the finals of the lower brackets to decide who makes it into the grand finals.
Yeah, those last couple maps were very, very clean, very well played by RAISY. There's so much to talk about during that. It's just absolute madness. Have you seen the LG damage for RAISY? 2,446 damage with the LG. That's one of the largest I've ever seen, even for a map like Corrupted Keep. And he's always at perfect range, just trying to do everything he can to keep Cypher back. And he did a fantastic job. This is a really good RAISY we're seeing, at least hitting his peak performance today.
Yeah, absolutely. And just remember, that amount of LG stood next to just 300 points of rocket damage, meaning that RAISY barely even used the rockets, but focused so much on the shaft, showing just how deadly he is with that specific weapon. Well played to RAISY. cypher struggling, expecting great things from him in the near future. At least this was a much better showing than his previous LAN, where he just lost both of his first matches immediately. But still, surprising result. Wheat, what do you have to say about that?
Lethal, at the end of this game, he said that cypher was going to need a miracle. And so I was doing the math and I was kind of breaking it down. I got out the whiteboard, and the only thing I could determine that would pass as a miracle is if frags suddenly were worth 5 points. That was an absolute beating by RAISY against cypher, and I know that cypher fans are disappointed in seeing him fall. I think it tells me two things. A, that RAISY is ready, right? Like, I know Kilson still stands in his way, but maybe that revenge is going to happen in the grand finals. He's still got to get past Kilson, and I think that's going to be tough. And B, cypher played so well, and even though he didn't make it past this one, I still think that the cypher that we know is there. The beast will be awoken. And, I mean, even though it was a 3-0, watching RAISY in what I would say is definitely top form. You mentioned his LG flea, just absolutely sickening, right? Like when multiple beeps just become one long tone because you're hitting every single cell, it's a wild, wild, wild thing. So congratulations to RAISY. That was incredible. It's sad to see cypher go to the graveyard, but, it was a good matchup regardless.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those
music
things.
to the ears.
It really is. Yeah, it's just madness, isn't it? It's just the scorelines weren't even that close either on the final two maps. And, when you're playing that calm and collective, just being patient, ready for the opportunity to arise, he just did it every single time. And it felt like there was no window of opportunity for cypher to even make anything happen. It was madness.
It was. And you know what? We've got RAISY once again joining us here on the desk. RAISY, congratulations. This was the first 3-0 of the finals, and a very convincing 3-0. That match is kind of behind you. I want to focus on what's in front of you, right? You've got a match versus Kilson. If you win that, grand finals versus Rafa, that would be a repeat of what we saw in the Stage 4 finals of Season 1. But let's move to this next match. Kilson's been looking very, very nice this entire tournament. You've played him many times before. How are you feeling knowing that you've got two big matches coming up ahead of you?
Well, not happy to play against Kilson, because then I'm going to get railed a lot. And that always hurts. But, I like playing against him otherwise, because, it's fun, his stuff, and I like a challenge, so it's gonna be good.
It should be good indeed. About that last map on Corrupted Keep, the last time you played against cypher, it was more one-sided in his favour. Is there anything you changed in particular going into that matchup?
I was just trying to play it very carefully and made sure that I don't run into one of his traps. And I was also cautious because I know how combat heavy he is, and I never underestimated that. So whenever he pulled out the dual wield, I made sure that either I have the stack to fight it or a good position where I could just dodge behind his rockets or stuff like that. So sometimes I did die to it, but mostly I was trying to be careful.
RAISY, any particular reason why you went with the champion picks that you did? Because we've seen a lot of heavy champions being picked this tournament in specific, kind of becoming a bit of a meta, but you and Cypher avoided those completely, not a single heavy in the lineup. Is there a reason why you focus so much on the light and small ones?
I didn't want to give him... Which champion was it? I think maybe Sorlag, not sure.
Yeah, we banned Sorlag.
So that's why Sorlag was banned, and he didn't give me clutch. And I don't think either of us likes to play Scalebearer too much. Not sure about Keel, it just didn't happen, I guess.
Yeah, Wheat will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I don't think Scale has a great win record, but RAISY, congratulations! An incredible matchup. You've got a lot of fans there in chat that are just absolutely over the moon for your victory. We're not going to keep you long because I know that you want to prepare for the matchup that's coming up next. Good luck in the remainder of the finals day.
Thank you.
Good job, mate.
You're very, very welcome. A 3-0 victory for RAISY, and now he's got another boss in front of him, Kilson, who has been playing out of his mind. And you know what? A lot of respect there already when RAISY's saying, well, I'm not looking forward to this one because I feel like I'm going to get railed a lot. That's absolutely what could happen. What's his answer going to be? Well, we're going to take a break, but when we return, it's going to be the lower bracket finals. Just 2 more matches left. We have got 3 players left, Kilson, RAISY, and of course, Rafa, who's sitting comfortably in the grand finals. Who will be crowned champion here for the Stage 1 finals? We're going to find out very soon. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back after this.